In this video, we're going to look at two products that classify themselves as being a jet nozzle, or a nozzle that you can replace your bulky, heavy, noisy pressure washers and just use this and get the same results. This one right here looks similar to the Turbojet, which I reviewed not that long ago. I will link that at the end, whereas this one looks a little different, almost just like you have a fireman's hose here at the end. The concept is for this, as the tubes get smaller, the water is being forced into an area which will give you that jet propulsion. The similar thing is with this one. All right, so this one is just all brass, which I really do like that, and it comes with rubber gaskets, retails for around $22. And this one, some plastic parts, some rubber parts, some metal parts, so we got a little bit of everything there. I even have a quick connect, but that's made out of plastic, retails for $20. This jet nozzle I actually got two of in the box for $22, and I just want to show you the quarter turn. Let's see, all you do is, it's on right now, open, you turn it, and there it is closed. This jet nozzle comes with two different tips, and there's a convenient storage compartment down here, or a little threaded area down here to store one tip, and of course the other tip will be on the other end. You have your typical pressure washing tip here, and then of course a fan tip. This one also has a quarter turn shut off, which I really like. I do like the rubber grip that's on here. It is very convenient and comfortable, so I'm looking forward to testing it out. There were not any directions that came with this, but I think I figured it out. So my thoughts are, you're supposed to cut the tip off of your current garden hose. You slip this blue piece over the hose, you stick the hose in here, and then you bring this down to tighten it down as tight as you can go, and it really compresses around the hose, thus supposedly making a watertight seal.
And again, as I look at this, it's kind of small for a hose. Maybe it's to hook up a pressure washer hose to it. I don't know. What do you guys think this is for? A regular hose or a pressure washer hose? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. It would be interesting to see if anyone really knows what this is for.
From there, you can attach this to any spigot or this jet nozzle, and you have a quick connect piece right there, making it easy for you. Now, if you saw my other review where I actually fixed my garden hose, you know how I feel about plastic connectors, and that's all this is right here, is a plastic connector, and in my experience, most of these have been junk. For those of you that are interested, this is about 18 inches in length from the hose part to the tip.
Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. As you saw, we are looking at two products that call themselves a jet nozzle, and they're supposed to replace your pressure washer. We'll see about that. This video is done by request, and before much further ado, let's get right back to the review.
We're going to start with this version of the jet nozzle. I have it attached to a 20-foot hose. Right now I'm running 60 PSI through the hose, and of course it's off. And I like right now that there are no leaks. I have this part of here on my deck where my carpet was over the winter, and it left a little bit of dirt, so I'm going to try to clean it off. Let's turn it on for the first time to see what kind of a blast or pressure wash we get. All right, so you see that it's an intense stream coming out there. I appreciate that. Now, in a typical pressure washer, I would never stick my finger here. Let's see what happens. All right, so although it is a pretty decent pressure, it's definitely not something that would be equivalent to a pressure washer. We know it's not something equivalent to a pressure washer, but will it clean this dirt? Now, this is going to be no scrubbing, just shooting the jet nozzle at the dirt. And you know what? Most of it is coming off. I can still see some there. I'm a lot more impressed than I thought I was going to be. Here's some heavier staining. Or I should say heavier debris, not staining. But this does blast it away. I tell you what, the wand is actually really convenient at getting at places that I otherwise was not able to clean. I've always disliked this area because I couldn't get anything in there to clean it. But now, well, the wand makes it a little easier. The deck has dried, and you can sort of see this line down here, down the middle. This side has not been sprayed off, and this side has. And definitely this side looks cleaner than that side. But if you get closer, you can see there might be some dirt still on this side. So like I said before, it didn't do as much as a pressure washer, but it definitely did a great job getting off that surface dirt. Now we're going to clean off this part of the deck on the other side where the carpet was, and I'm using the other jet nozzle just to see what I can do. What I will do is I will make sure I only do half of it so you can compare the two sides. Let's rock it out. What I like about using these two jet nozzles, because I'm using the pressure of water from the house, I do not stand a chance of damaging this deck or siding or whatever it is that I'm spraying. Using a typical pressure washer, there's always the risk of damaging the surface because the pressure is too high. All right, so I'm going to end it right there. That's where my cutoff line is, and you can see the difference right now just between the part that was dirty and the part that is now clean. I will say the spot that I've been spraying has gotten mostly clean. There are some spots that are just too stubborn even for this jet nozzle. That's the kind of thing you might either need to scrub or use a pressure washer, but it's mostly clean. What I'm going to do now is I'll wait for this to dry just so you can see the difference of the clean side versus the not clean side. Here's a spot that was clean with the brass jet nozzle, and I stopped right about here. And so you can still see this dirt line that's in there, but all this other area has been clean. Now, like I said, with the other jet nozzle, it does a great job doing a surface clean, but does not get a deep down clean that you would expect from a pressure washer. As I'm using the jet nozzles to clean my porch, I'm going to make a couple observations. One, the jet nozzle that has the handle, the one that I'm using right now, is definitely a lot easier to use, pretty much because I can hold it by the handle. I'm not just holding it by the hose. I will say, however, let's see if I can get a focus on this. You can see that it is definitely leaking from in here. Not that big of a deal because I could use some Teflon tape, but it goes to show me that the rubber gasket that was provided maybe wasn't very good. I'm not going to be using this tip a whole lot during this video, but I did want to show you what the fan looked like. And as with the other one, it does not hurt to put your hand in there. It's a nice, I guess, fan type of spray. I can see maybe if you're watering flowers or something, you want to get a wide area, or even just like, you know what, I just cleaned out this whole porch and I want to real quick rinse it off. I could see that, but anything else than that, I don't really know what you would use it for. It's not high powered, so I think it wouldn't hurt your plants, and definitely is helpful rinsing off the porch. I should say that the plants that I would recommend watering are not like right here. Like this probably would be bad for plants, but if it's off in a distance, I don't think it'd be an issue. A few months back, I used my pressure washer to, well, blow off some of the paint on these steps and to prepare it for painting. And of course, you can see I haven't done that yet. I was actually getting ready to, and I noticed there's a lot of debris that's gathered in the corners of the steps. I'm going to use my handle jet nozzle to see if I can get that stuff out of there, because my typical hose just didn't do it. All right, so I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely cleared out the debris except for the sticks that are in there, and those I can get out by hand. But those balled up leaves that just wouldn't come out came out pretty well. We're going to use the metal jet nozzle on this side. Definitely does a good job of getting underneath the stair, making sure all that debris that's collected over the winter is cleared out.
In this video, we were looking at two very different jet nozzles that operate on the same premise. You take a large hose and you shrink it down to a small nozzle and hopefully get a lot of pressure. So what did I think of these two items? First and foremost, these do not compare at all to a regular pressure washer or power washer, whether it's electric or gas. These just don't have the power. All of that depends on the PSI coming from your house. I said that mine is 60. I've seen some residential units going all the way up to 80, maybe even 100. Even that, you're not going to get up to what you can do with a gas-powered or electric pressure washer. But really, what were we expecting for something that cost around 20 bucks? I will say I was more impressed with these than I thought I was going to be. I thought, man, this is just going to be a dud, completely a waste of time. But actually, I found a lot of good uses for these jet nozzles. My sprayer that I use on a regular basis, or even the aqua handle, have a lot of different settings, but there's nothing that's really just a fine spray that these two have. And so, as you saw, I was able to clean off my deck, I was able to clean off my steps, clean off my siding, and for those things, I think these are a great option. However, if you're looking for something to actually pressure wash to remove dirt that's a significant amount, or maybe remove paint, these are a no-go. Those are the kind of things you absolutely need to go to a pressure washer. If I had to narrow it down to just one of these, I would go with the one that has a handle. It's easier to hold. I really like the on-off part here. This one I felt like it was a little more difficult to turn on and off. Initially, I thought this was kind of cool. Made me feel like I was gonna be like a fireman, but then I'm really just holding onto the hose, and you don't really hold onto this nozzle, where this one just makes more sense. Now, this does come with that fan tip, and for me, I wouldn't really use it, but like I said, if you're watering flowers or whatnot, that's a little bit away. I could see the use of that. Otherwise, I just stick with the smaller tip. That was my full review of these two Jet nozzles. If either of them are something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.
Now we're going to try the distance test. I'm just about 20 feet away from the house. Let's turn this on. And we are absolutely hitting the house 20 feet away. That's super exciting. Definitely something that would be beneficial for rinsing off the house. I will say at the end of the 20 feet, it's not that strong of a stream, but at least it gets there. We have the handle Jet Nozzle 20 feet away from the house, and it is absolutely hitting the house. That's pretty cool. So therefore you can think, yeah, I can reach up about 15, 20 feet to rinse off the house. Now, the strength of the water as it's hitting the house is not as strong as it is right here at the tip of the hose, but at least you can rinse off your house.
I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of these Jet nozzles. You know what? They reminded me a whole lot of my original review of the Turbo Jet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link that review right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you at this review. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.